Lots of church worship leaders don't like working with classical musicians, and today we're going to talk about why. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Matt, and this channel is dedicated to helping classical musicians make the jump into a worship music setting. I've been playing violin classically for nearly 2 decades and in worship settings for over 10 years. And so I know just how challenging it can be for classical musicians to make that jump. If you are someone who is wanting to take a step and further your ability to use your gifts to glorify God, you are in the right place. Please check out our resources here on this channel, as well as those linked in our website below. For now, though, we are going to talk about some of the main mistakes I see classical musicians making when they step into a worship setting. If you can avoid these mistakes, you'll find that worship bands want to work with you a lot more. The first mistake is asking too many questions. This happens all the time with classical musicians who are new to worship. They get caught up in the details, ask way too many questions, and make the rehearsal painfully slow for everyone else. It's important to remember that worship music is less detail-oriented than classical music. So most of the time, you can just answer your own question as you go. If you're really confused about something and it's really important, feel free to ask or wait until after rehearsal and then talk to the worship leader. But don't ask too many questions and slow things down for everyone else. The second mistake that I see classical musicians make often in a worship setting is not being flexible. In classical music, things tend to be fairly predictable. You have tempos, you know when things will slow down or speed up, you know what notes you're going to be playing. However, things sometimes still go awry in classical music. In worship music, it's that times 100. Keys get changed at the last minute, parts of songs get added or cut, people miss entrances, and the list goes on. When things change or mistakes are made, be ready to roll with it. Be flexible. Mistake number 3 is not self-directing. In classical music, you always know what to play and when. First of all, you have sheet music in front of you that tells you what notes to play and how to play them. Second, you have a conductor who's giving you even more specific instructions on how and when to play. In worship music, you don't have a conductor, and for most classical instruments, you won't even have a part. So what you play and when and how is really going to be up to you. For that reason, be prepared to be your own boss. The worship leader might have ideas of what they want you to play, but they likely won't have a whole part written out for you, so you'll need to make a lot of judgment calls yourself. And you can certainly ask their opinion, but have a plan and be ready to make decisions yourself. And the last big mistake I see classical musicians making in worship is overdoing it. Don't forget, worship isn't about you, it's about God. So don't play too loud, don't play something that's way out of character for the piece, don't try to do too much, because ultimately it will be distracting and take people away from what they're trying to do, which is worship. In most cases, less is more. So don't be afraid to accidentally blend in because you're underdoing it as opposed to overdoing it and being a distraction to people. Don't overdo it. And as a bonus, one final mistake that I see classical musicians make when they're trying to get into worship is not using all the resources we have to offer you. So take a look at the videos here on our channel and also look at the resources we have on our website, which is linked below. I hope this is helpful as you learn to use your gifts to glorify God.